Welcome. I'm Emily, and I will be teaching a 45-minute gentle flow class. I look forward to practicing with you all. For this practice, we're using 2 blocks and a blanket. If you don't have blocks, you're welcome to use larger books that you have around your home or boxes of various items. We also are using a blanket, and you can use a blanket from your couch or your bed or even a pillow. We'll get started in a comfortable seat, so any way that you feel supported and sustainable. I recommend sitting up on something so that your sits bones are elevated and your knees point more down. We'll start with hands on the thighs. Face the palms down, and then start scrunching the fingers into the thighs, just a little bit like you're scratching your yoga pants or your skin. Good, and then pull the elbows in towards the body and pull the shoulders up to the ears. Find the tension there, maintain it, and then scrunch up the face too. Scrunch up the mouth like you're eating something sour. Scrunch up the eyes like the light around you is just so bright. And then just notice how tense it's possible to be, how much tension we can create for ourselves, and then release and soften, let it go. Notice how we match the release of energy to an exhale. And start to feel the movement of breath through the body. As you inhale, feel a slight lift through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, feel more rooted down through your seat. And start to feel that flow of breath all up and down the spine. And just watch how, as you focus on the breath, your awareness of all other things changes. And as the breathing inevitably deepens, notice where in the body you might begin to send it to. Perhaps the next time you exhale, you feel a little bit more softening across the collarbones. Perhaps the exhale after that can release some tension in the belly. And then you decide, keep moving your awareness through the body and fulfilling your own needs. We'll take 3 more deep rounds of breath right here in stillness, fully following the extent of the inhale, and then fully following the extent of each exhale. And then after your 3rd exhale, no rush. If you've chosen to close your eyes, start to blink them back open. It's coming back into the room. And as you open the eyes, notice stimuli around you, colors, textures. And then on your next inhale, please sweep the arms out wide. Stretch through the fingers, take the hands, flip them all the way up above the head, palms meet. And as you exhale, pass the hands down the midline. We'll do that action 2 more times. As you inhale, expand. And then as you exhale, draw the hands down the midline, hollow through the armpits. 1 more time. As you inhale, sweep the arms out wide. And then as you exhale, hands come to the heart. Pull the thumbs right to the center of the chest, and perhaps notice your heart beating beneath your hands. And connect to all that is here right now. Good, and then next time you inhale, please sweep the arms out wide again, stretching up. And then as you exhale, please find a twist over to your right, taking the right hand behind you and the left hand to the right thigh. Slight engagement of the belly is going to protect the low back here. Keep drawing both sit bones evenly down. Good, and then if you want a deeper twist, turn the gaze over that right shoulder. Notice how the breath changes when you enter a twist, but also how it's still there. And then on your next inhale, unwind, stretch the fingertips back up to the sky. As you exhale, twist over to the other side. Again, keep rooting down evenly through both sits bones. And then check in. What's different on this side? See if instead of casting any judgment towards that difference, you can simply breathe into it. Simply notice. Simply understand that an awareness of difference is a deeper practice. Means that you are truly in the moment. And then the next time you inhale, please unwind, stretch the fingertips back up to the sky. And this time as you exhale, drop the hands down to the lap and drop the chin down to the chest. Imagine that you've got a little weight attached to the nose, so it's drawing the nose down, but keep pressing down through the sits bones so there's space in the low back. Locate the sensation and breathe into it. Take one more round of breath where you are. And then next time you inhale, please rock the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Notice the space you're creating down the left side of the neck. You can definitely stay here. If you'd like a little bit more sensation, you might spider those left fingertips out to the side. You can also add that right hand as a gentle weight to the top of the head. Notice I'm not pulling my head down. I'm just using the hand as a little bonus, just a weight. Continue to track the needs of the body. Where can the breath most effectively and compassionately be sent? Good. And then if the hands are anywhere but the thighs, please bring them back there. Take another inhale where you are. And then when you exhale, drop the chin back down to the chest. Next time you inhale, rock the left ear over towards the left shoulder. And start to breathe into the space you're creating on this side. Again, you can stay right here. You can also take that right hand out to the side, or perhaps take the left hand to the head and add a gentle weight. Remember that this is an entirely new side and therefore an entirely new experience. So be explorative, but also be compassionate. Meet yourself where you're at. And if the hands are anywhere else other than the thighs, please bring them back there. Take a big inhale right where you are. When you exhale, drop the chin down to the chest. When you inhale, please lift the gaze, looking back towards the front of the room. Good. We'll start to find some seated cat-cows from here. So you may take your hands to your thighs, palms down. Next time you inhale, pull the heart forward, perhaps lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin into the chest. Good. Start to move at your own pace of breath. The inhales will open the heart. And then the exhales will round the spine. And this is a very linear motion. If you'd like to mix it up a bit, you're welcome to start swiveling the torso from one side to the other. And these can be really big movements or really little ones. And this is a great time to get acquainted with how your body is feeling right here in this moment. Continuing to use the breath to initiate whatever movement you're choosing. And please take one more round of breath just as you are. And then we'll meet back in stillness and take a moment here in stillness to just feel the body settle into it. Good, and then from here we'll find a tabletop. So rolling over your knees or taking any other route to get to hands and knees. I recommend taking whatever cushion, be it a blanket or a pillow that you have, and placing it underneath the knees for some extra padding. If you have sensitive wrists, a great option is to walk the wrists about a handprint in front of where they would naturally fall, so they're not quite underneath the shoulders. You can also take the knees a little bit wider here to add more space. If you get to this position and it just doesn't feel good for the body, we're going to be coming into cat-cows, so you can always come back to seated. On your next inhale, please drop the belly, lift the gaze, find your cow. And then when you exhale, press the mat away, round into your cat. Once again, let your breath guide you. The inhales are opening the heart. And then the exhales are rounding the spine. And again, as well, you are always welcome to find a more organic motion, perhaps swiveling the hips. You can also come in and out of child's pose. Awesome. And then take one more round of breath, moving as you are. And then we'll meet back in stillness in our tabletop. From here, we'll find a child's pose. We'll touch the big toes together, and we'll sink the hips back towards the heels. If the hips don't land on the heels, no big deal. That's a great time to grab another piece of cushioning or perhaps a block and place it in that space, just so you can have something to rest on. We'll keep the arms extended long in front of us today, but even though the fingertips are extending long, plug the shoulders back in towards the hips. Nice job. Take a big inhale right here and come into a tense with the hands, so you're hollow through the palms. Good. As you exhale, walk the hands over to the right. So you're getting a side stretch through the left side body. And if you've got a block underneath the forehead, you're welcome to walk it along with you. Send a little bit more weight into that left hip. And notice you want to manipulate the stretch a bit by pressing more into that left hand. You can also play with where the heart is facing. You might face more down towards that right thigh, or perhaps spiral up a little bit more towards the left. Nice job. And then on your next inhale, please walk the hands back to center. And then when you exhale, walk the hands over to the other side. Beautiful job. Continue to send more weight into the right hip. And continue to send your breath into the place that needs it the most. Perhaps all along the right ribs, the right armpit. On your next inhale, please walk the hands back to center. And then from here, we'll rise back up to our tabletop. From our tabletop, we'll slide the right foot back behind us, coming onto the ball of the foot at first. Try to keep the hips square here so the belly button stays pointing down. Good. You're welcome to stay right here, simply engaging the belly where you are. Or if you'd like, you might lift the right foot up, the toes are pointing down. Once again, you're welcome to stay right here. Imagine that you're pressing the wall behind you away with the sole of the foot. Or you can flow. As you inhale, pull through the right heel. And then as you exhale, curl the right knee towards the chest. The bottom of the exhale, pull the knee higher. And then as you inhale, stretch long. If you're moving, we'll do 2 more rounds. As you exhale, pull the knee in towards the chest. And then as you inhale, stretch the heel behind you. One more time. As you exhale, pull the knee in. And as you inhale, stretch the heel long. As you exhale this time, please place the right foot back on the mat. Rotate to the inside of the right foot. Kickstand the left foot out to the side. And as you inhale, pull the right fingertips up to the sky. You're always welcome to take a block underneath that left hand for a little bit of a lift. You can also take your left forearm to a block on its highest level. Nice. Once you get here, find the breath. And then perhaps find some movement as well. You can always circle the right wrist if you want to get some cracks and pops out. You can also stretch the right fingertips towards the front of the room and find lots of length through the right side body. A great question to ask yourself is, how much space can I take up in this moment? How can the breath help me find that space? Please take one more deep inhale as you are. And then when you exhale, please slowly take the right hand back down to the mat. Bring the right knee back down to the mat. And find a few rounds of cat-cow. If you'd prefer to rest in child's pose, know that you are always welcome to go there at any time. Over the next round of breath, please make your way back to tabletop. And then from here, we will take the other side. And slide that left foot back behind you on the ball of the foot at first to find square hips, to find groundedness in your foundation. You can stay here, or if you'd like, you can lift that left foot up. Remember that foot is flexed, the toes are pointing down. If you'd like to flow on your next inhale, pull the heel behind you. And then as you exhale, curl the knee towards the chest. Bottom of the exhale, knee comes a bit higher. And then as you inhale, stretch the heel behind you. 2 more times. As you exhale, pull the knee in. And then as you inhale, stretch the heel long. Once more, exhale, pulls the knee in. And then inhale to find length. This time on your exhale, please take the left foot down. Rotate to the inside of the left foot. Kickstand the right foot out to the side. And as you inhale, sweep those left fingertips up to the sky. Good. Once again, always welcome to take a block underneath that right hand or forearm. Also welcome to find some movement, perhaps circling the left wrist or stretching those left fingertips all the way towards the front of the room. This is a great time to check in with your drishti, or your point of focus. Our challenge in our asana or yoga movement classes is finding a drishti that has concentration, that has focus and strength, but is still soft and compassionate, so we're not glaring anywhere that we're looking. Beautiful job. Please take one more inhale as you are. And then as you exhale, slowly make your way back to tabletop. Good. From tabletop, we're going to find a downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is just going to be used as a transition. So if you'd prefer to skip it and meet me in forward fold, you're welcome to. For down dog, we'll walk the hands a handprint in front of where they are. We'll tuck the toes and we'll lift the hips up and back. When you get to down dog, bend the knees super generously and lift the hips up and back, so you're creating space in the low back. If you'd like to stay in down dog for a moment, you're welcome to pedal the feet out, bringing one heel down and then perhaps the other. And then if you're in movement in down dog, please come to stillness, bend the knees even more, turn the gaze forward, and take a whole lot of steps up to forward fold. You are welcome to utilize blocks underneath the hands here if you need to. When you get to forward fold, we'll all walk the feet out a little bit wider than hips distance, and grab hold of opposite elbows. Let the head hang heavy, and nod yes and no. Good. Try to maintain space in the low back here. Imagine that the hip creases are being reached up towards the ceiling. Know that you can keep as generous of a bend in your knees as you need to. Beautiful. If the hands are still holding onto the elbows, please release, drip the fingertips down to the mat. And then on your next inhale, please find a flat back, keeping the gaze down. Good. And then as you exhale, fold forward again. We'll do that twice more. As you inhale, come halfway up, fingertips trace up the legs, sits bones reach behind you. As you exhale, fold forward. One more time. As you inhale, come halfway up, keep the gaze down, belly is supporting the lift. As you exhale, fold forward. This time, as you inhale, bend the knees, sink the seat back, sweep the arms out wide, stretch all the way up to standing. Hands meet above the head, and as you exhale, draw the hands together at the heart. Notice the feet on the mat. Notice the press of each toe pad, of the balls of the feet, of the heels. Bring a slight bend into the knees, a slight tuck to the tailbone, a slight pull in of the belly button. Feel the shoulder blades grow heavy and slide together and down the back. And then release the hands down by your sides, palms open. And breathe into your Tadasana, into your mountain, into all of the strength and stability that your body contains at all points, anytime you need it. And we'll be moving a bit more here. On the next inhale, sweep the arms out wide, stretch up. As you exhale, hinge forward and fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. As you inhale, come halfway up, find a flat back. As you exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, bend the knees generously, sweep the arms out wide, stretch all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, hands draw together at the heart. We'll keep going here. As you inhale, sweep the arms out wide. And then as you exhale, hinge forward and fold. Nice job. The inhale brings you halfway up. The exhale folds you forward. As you inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms out wide, stretch up. And exhale, draws the hands together. We'll do it one more time. I won't cue you as we move. Meeting with hands drawing together at the heart. Thumbs pulling into the center of the chest. And feeling the movement of the breath here. Noticing how it may have changed since the beginning of practice. Noticing the space you have carved out through movement, through intention. Good. And then from here, we will turn to our left and step the left foot out wide. Take the feet out about 3 or 4 feet apart, and you might want to bring a block along with you just so that you have something to place your hands on if you need it. And take the hands to the hips. If you can, turn the toes slightly inward and find a nice bend of the knees. Good. As you inhale, lift the crown of the head up, and then as you exhale, hinge from the hips and fold forward. The hands can stay on the hips. They can slide to the thighs or the shins. They can also come to blocks or even to the mat beneath you. When you get to your fold, bring a bit more weight to the balls of the feet so you can bend the knees a little bit more generously and find that same level of space that we had in our down dog and also in our forward fold. Good. You can stay right here in stillness, or if movement would feel better, you're welcome to start to bend one knee and straighten the other leg and find a little bit of a flow. Wherever you go, try to go there with the breath. Good. If you are in movement, over the next round of breath, please come to stillness. And then from here, press down through the feet a bit more actively, bend the knees a little bit more generously, engage the belly by imagining that your hip bones are drawing in towards the belly button, and take the hands to the hips. Turn the gaze in front of you as you inhale, bend the knees to slowly make your way back up to standing. Exhale out of the mouth. One more time, nice big inhale. Let it go. Beautiful job. From here, our left toes will turn towards the back of the mat, and we'll start to bend into that left knee. As you bend into the knee, make sure that you are able to see the left big toe on the inside of the knee. And keep the heart facing towards center. You can keep the hands on the hips here, or if you'd like, you can float the hands out to either direction, finding your Virabhadrasana 2 or your Warrior 2. Nice job. Find an active press of both heels into the mat. Find a slight tuck of the tailbone, and continue to let the shoulders fall away from the ears so you've got space. Good job. On your next inhale, palms will face up towards the ceiling. Feel that softness in the shoulders. As you exhale, take the right hand down the right leg, stretch up through the left fingertips. You can straighten that left leg if you'd like. Really breathe into the space all along the left side body. And take your gaze someplace intentional. some place where that effectively strong and soft drishti can rest. Good, and then on your next inhale, come on back to your warrior two. As you exhale, straighten that left leg. Heel toe that right foot in a bit. Palms face open. On your next inhale, left fingertips stretch towards the back of your mat. As you exhale, take the left hand to the inside of the left knee, stretch up through the right fingertips. So we're not going down too far. We want the left hand to the inside of the left knee or even further up. Good. The belly is engaged to support the torso, and we're working to stack the right shoulder over the left. Nice job. Keep active in both legs, so there's a micro bend. Good. And as the postures get a little bit more challenging, remember the breath. Remember that it is there to help you out. It is there to guide you. And if the breath ever becomes constricted, it is telling you to back out a bit. You're always welcome to take that back hand down to the hip or come to any other rest that you need. On your next inhale, we'll come back to our warrior two, bending back into that left knee. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down to the hips, straighten the left leg, and turn both sets of toes towards me. And from here, we'll turn the right toes towards the front of the mat. We'll take that same sequence, starting to bend into the right knee, keeping track of the right big toe. Once again, you are welcome to keep the hands on the hips, or if you'd like, you can float the fingertips out to either end of your mat. Notice the places in the body that necessitate some action, some effort here. The press of the heels, the engagement of the belly, the strength of the legs. And then notice places in the body where you can locate some ease. Is it somewhere in the face? Is that somewhere in the fingertips? And then on your next inhale, please face the palms up towards the ceiling. When you exhale, the right hand stretches up, the left hand stretches down. Again, you are welcome to straighten that left leg. Continue to breathe through the space you're creating through the right side body. Good, and then on your next inhale, come on back to your warrior two. As you exhale, you'll straighten that right leg, shift the left hip back, perhaps heel toe that left foot in a bit. Good, and then the arms stretch out. As you inhale, those right fingertips pull forward. As you exhale, take the right hand to the inside of the right knee, stretch up through the left fingertips. Feel the engagement of the belly, the strength of the core, holding the torso up. If this starts to feel challenging, lift the torso up a little bit more so it's less parallel with the mat and more pointing upward towards the ceiling. Deep, full breaths to support the body. Good, and then on your next inhale, come on back to warrior two. Good. As you exhale, draw the hands down to the hips. Turn both sets of toes towards me. From here, we'll heel toe our feet back in. Take your time. And then we'll meet back in Tadasana in mountain at the top of the mat. When you get to Tadasana, be still for a few rounds of breath. Let the body settle. Let it be. And our asana practice can teach us strength. It can teach us flexibility. It can also teach us to find the pause. And inevitably, after some movement, we are taking time for stillness. And this can mirror our off-the-mat lives if things feel chaotic or a little bit too buzzy. And we gather the tools that we need on our mats to soothe, to find calm, to find resiliency. On your next inhale, please sweep the fingertips up to the sky, stretching up. And then as you exhale, sink the seat down and back, find a chair. Draw the hands to the heart. Press the palms together. Make sure that you can see your toes in front of your knees. Find a slight tuck of the tailbone just to encourage the belly pulling in and up. Breathe here. Breathe into the strength in your legs. Take one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, hinge from the hips and fold forward. As you inhale, we'll come halfway up to find a flat back. And then as we exhale, we'll start to transition down so the hands can meet the mat or blocks and start to walk your way back to downward facing dog. Again, down dog is just being used as a transition. We will meet in a child's pose. If you're in down dog and want to stay there for a few rounds of breath, you're welcome to move through your vinyasa as you inhale, coming forward to plank or to a modified plank with the knees down. As you exhale, lowering down knees, chest, and chin. As you inhale, you'll come up for a baby cobra. Press the pubic bone down. And then as you exhale, we'll all meet in child's pose, bringing the hips towards the heels. Once again, you can take any support that you need in child's pose, be that a block underneath the forehead, be that a prop between the hips and the heels. If you prefer for this child's pose, you're welcome to take the hands down by your sides and give the shoulders a bit of a rest. Let the body be heavy. Let the heart sink. Let the belly be soft. And then start to walk the hands back towards the knees, coming to sit on the heels just for a moment before shifting the hips over to one side and bringing the soles of the feet to the mat with the knees pointing upward. This is a great time to grab any props you've got around your feet and take them towards where your head will be when you lay down. And we'll start here with each toe pad pressing into the mat and the hands on the backs of the thighs. Pull the heart forward and then find a lift of the chest and engage your belly right there. From here, we'll slowly take the hands off the backs of the thighs and stretch the fingertips forward. We'll come down through a Navasana or boat pose flow. Know that it's always optional and we'll meet on our backs. We'll take a big inhale as we are, and then keeping the toes pressing down, exhale and start to tip back. At the bottom of the exhale, pause in stillness. Inhale in that stillness. And then as you exhale, start to lower down a bit more. You guys got the hang of it. You can keep going as many rounds of breath as you need to here. Usually after about 3 or 4 rounds of breath, my toes can no longer touch the mat, and that's the sign to round onto your back and pull the knees into the chest. When you get onto your back, give yourself a nice big hug, rock a bit from side to side. And then please release the soles of the feet down to the mat with the knees pointing upward. From here, we'll find a supine pigeon. We'll stretch the right foot up to the sky, flex the foot, and then keeping the foot flexed, cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh. You're welcome to stay right here. You can gently press the right thigh away from you so the right knee tracks more towards the front of the room. You can also come onto the ball of the left foot or even interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. Wherever you go, go there with the breath. And remember the breath's capability to soften, to find the stretch, to create space within the stretch. Please take one more round of breath where you are. And then if that left foot is lifted, please set it back down on the mat. And we'll all unwind. Uncross the right ankle from the left thigh, plant the right sole of the foot on the mat, and start to find a windshield wiper motion from side to side. Just letting the knees fall, let them be heavy. See if you can match this movement with the breath. So the exhales take the knees over to the side, and the inhales bring them up. The next time that the knees fall over to the left, please leave them there. If it doesn't feel comfortable for one knee to be hiking up in space, you can always take a block beneath one or both of the knees. If you'd like more of a stretch, you can always cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. You might also cactus the arms, bending the elbows and letting the backs of the hands rest on the floor or the mat. And if it feels good, you can take the gaze over the right shoulder. Feel the breath moving through the body in a twist, in a sort of spiraling trajectory. Feel the breath helping the body to become heavier, helping the body to become more grounded. Good, and then if you've got your ankle crossed, please unwind. On the next inhale, we'll bring the knees back up to center. And from here, please bring the feet about hips distance apart. Walk the heels a bit closer in towards the body, and then we'll stretch the left foot up to the sky, flexing the foot. From here, we'll cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Good, and then please move into the version of supine pigeon that works best for you on this side, knowing that it might be entirely different than the first side, and that's great. It means that you're listening to your body. And continue to tap into that amazing capability of the breath to soften, noticing each tiny place that the breath can be sent, and then seeing the way that each tiny place can work together. So a softening of the fingers and the jaw can lead to an overall softening of the left hip. And in this way, our asana practice reminds us that the slow and steady and incremental work can lead to an overall much larger and more important whole. And it is the little things that we do in a committed fashion that can really make the changes that we want to see. Please take one more deep round of breath here. Good, and then if the right foot is lifted or on a prop, please bring it back down to the mat. Good, from here we'll unwind, uncross that ankle, and then start to find the same windshield wiper motion from side to side. The next time that the knees fall over to the right, please leave them there. And just check in with how the body feels on this side. If you'd like, you're welcome to take props to support you. You're also welcome to cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh. If it feels good, you can always take the gaze over the left shoulder. Do try to stay heavy in the left shoulder, so it is anchoring you down. Good, and then on your next inhale, please unwind. Come on back to center. When you get to center, we'll pull the knees in towards the armpits and meet in a happy baby. So in happy baby, we want to work to keep the sacrum or the low back and the shoulders on the mat. So if that means not reaching the feet, that's fine. You can always hold on to the shins or the ankles. You might try flexing the feet, so really pressing the heels towards the ceiling, and then switching it up and pointing the toes and just noticing the different sensations that are available in every single shape that we come to. You can also rock a bit from side to side, find some play. and then come to stillness if you're moving. From here, please release the soles of the feet back down to the mat. We're going to take a supported bridge. This is a great time to use your block or any other prop that you have that can elevate the hips. From here, we'll press down through the heels. As you inhale, lift the hips up and slide the block underneath the body. And we're looking to get the block right underneath the sacrum so you feel nice and supported. I like to take my hands to my hip bones here to add a little bit of extra weight to ground down. You might also like to snuggle the shoulders up a little bit more underneath the body so the center of the chest reaches up more towards the ceiling. You're welcome to stay right here, or if you'd like, you might begin to stretch one foot up towards the ceiling and then potentially the other, finding a supported inversion, a waterfall. You can keep the hands on the body, or they might rest by the sides. It's important to protect the cervical spine here and keep the gaze up. So you might entertain yourself by wiggling the toes a little bit or circling the ankles. If you chose to lift the feet, take one more round of breath here. And then we'll slowly begin to come back down the same way we came up, bending one knee, bringing the foot down to the mat, and bending the other knee, and bringing the other foot down. Once both feet have landed, press into the heels, lift the hips up, and scoot your prop off to the side. Slowly bring the hips down to the mat, and pause for a moment. Just letting the sacrum, the low back be open. And then if you'd like, you might pull the knees into the chest and give yourself another nice big hug, perhaps rocking from side to side. And then from here, we will begin to find our way into final rest. If there are any other little wiggles or shapes you want to take before resting, feel free to take those. Otherwise, we'll find Shavasana. And Shavasana is traditionally taken lying flat on your back, but if that's not comfortable for your body, you are welcome to sit in any other shape or lie down in any other shape. When you find your rest, connect with the heaviness of the back body. Connect with the support of the physical space beneath you. Connect with the fact that gravity is completely doing its job. Connect with the support as well that you yourself can create. Any potential feelings of calm or of peace that are spreading through the body are ones that you have cultivated for yourself. And allow yourself to simply be. Feel the body breathing. And feel the way that awareness of breath ignites awareness of all other things. Let that awareness ripple all the way out to the fingers and the toes. And then start to bring some movement back in. Let the movement grow as feels good. If you're lying down, you might stretch the fingers up and back behind the head. You might point and flex the toes. And then as you're ready, please make your way up to a seat. You can do this either by rolling directly up or coming onto one side and then pushing your way up. As you find a seat, please draw the hands together at the heart, pressing each finger pad together. And we'll seal this mat practice with one vibration of Om. You're welcome to join or just listen. I invite you, as you take the sound of Om, to send it with intention in the same way that we send our breath with intention to someone you think might really need it. And that can be an individual, it can be a group of people, or an organization. We'll start with a nice big inhale and exhale. Inhale full. And then exhale, release. Inhaling for Om. The light that shines within me recognizes and honors the light that shines within you, within all beings. Thank you for sharing in this practice. Peace be with you, and namaste.